they lack the ability to maintain their internal environment according to the changing external environment. Hello everyone. So last time what we have covered the portion of the ecology, right? So today we will start. There is something about the ecosystem. Although we have started last time, but again, okay. So the remaining portion is about ecosystem. Ecosystem mein we read about the abiotic factor and biotic factor. Okay. So we will just revise from the last. So response of that biotic factor to the abiotic factor. Okay, so there are various abiotic factors, and how this biotic factors like producers, consumers, decomposers and all, how they respond to their abiotic factor. For this there is a graph. That's external level. There is internal level. Okay, so on the basis of their responses, biotic factors are mainly divided into three things. So this is so what is this? These are the conformers. These are the conformers. The second are the regulators, and the third ones are partial regulators. Okay, mammals mainly comes in the regulators. Okay, most of the organisms comes in the here. Squirrel, there is a species of a squirrel that comes in the screw. There are like some who comes in the partial regulators. Now we will talk about what are the conformers, regulator and the partial regulator. What are the conformers? Conformers are the kind of organisms, okay, so they don't have the ability, means they lack the ability to maintain their internal environment according to the changing external environment. Okay, so conformers cannot sustain like in high temperature or in high kind of in adverse situation. So most of the organisms comes under the conformers. Mammals like us, okay. So regulators, they have the ability to maintain their internal environment, their internal temperature, like inside the body. Okay, so they have that process known as a homeostasis. So they have the process of the homeostasis. What is this? Homeostasis. They have the ability to maintain the internal temperature in response to the external environment. Okay, so this is about and conformers, they don't have this ability. Okay, conformers, they don't have this ability. Partial regulators, what are the partial regulators? Partial regulators are kind of organisms. They don't have that large capacity to maintain their internal temperature, but for some limited amount or some limited range of temperature or the environment they can sustain. Okay, on the basis of this there are some terminologies also, we can just discuss it right here. So we have heard about the ectothermal, also known as the cold-blooded, and endothermal, right? Endothermal. These are the related terminologies, so better we cover here. or the warm blooded. We have read about the classification of mammals, classification of organisms. Okay, so in that classification, fishes, amphibians, chordates का classification we have invertebrates का cover किया ना, fishes, amphibians and reptiles. Okay, so they are ectothermal. Ecto means outer. Okay, and these are endothermal. So they are mainly birds and mammals. So what is the difference? Ecto means outer. These kind of organisms dependent on the external environment to maintain their internal environment. So they cannot survive in every kind of situation. Okay, but the endothermal are they have the kind of mechanism, okay, to regulate the temperature and everything inside their body in according to the external temperature. So they are kind of conformers and the regulators. So there is one more term. So there is one more term, stenothermal and eurythermal. What is the stenothermal and the eurythermal? Stenothermal means they have the very narrow range of temperature. Like if any organisms or if any fish, suppose that if the fish can survive in suppose that 20 to 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, so they cannot survive in 50 plus or below the temperature, below the 20. So they have the very narrow range of temperature of their organisms. Eurythermal have the very large or the diverse range of temperature to sustain their body. So these are the some terms related with the ecosystem. Now what the next? The next was the functional aspect of the ecosystem. We have mentioned about it in the last lecture. There are mainly 4 functional aspects. The first is productivity. Okay. The second is decomposition. Third is energy flow. And the fourth one is nutrient cycling. What these 4 aspects indicate or what they show, we have already read about that ecosystem is a self-sustaining unit or the functional unit. Okay, so these 4 aspects help in that self-sustaining feature of the ecosystem. Okay, so the first thing we will read about productivity. What is productivity? Okay, productivity is mainly to convert the radiant energy or the available energy of the environment of that system into. So what are the major producers? Productivity can be of 3 types. Okay, majorly productivities can be 3 types: primary productivity, secondary productivity, and tertiary productivity. Why the tertiary? I'll explain. Tertiary productivity. Okay, so primary productivity is mainly done by the plants, okay, also known as the producers. Secondary productivity is mainly through the herbivores, and third is tertiary level, carnivorous or secondary consumers. We can say secondary consumers. So what are they? They are primary consumers. Okay, So the in ecosystem, how the radiant energy convert into some kind of product with the help of the plants or the self-sustaining plants or the autotrophic. Okay, so they make their food themselves. So that's why the primary productivity is done through the plants. Okay, so in the primary productivity, there is again gross primary productivity. Gross, we can shortly we write as a PP. Okay, so the gross primary productivity. What is the gross primary productivity? And the next term is net primary productivity. Okay, so you'll understand in very simple or the layman language. So the gross primary productivity is the plants, mainly they are the producer, they are the autotrophic, right? So the plants convert the energy. Okay, so the energy, the major source of energy in our ecosystem is the sun. So plant converts the energy, the radiant energy, into that product. That is, what is the main product is, like suppose that glucose. Okay, so जो फर्स्ट लेवल पे फॉर्मेशन होता है किसी चीज का, ओके, द फर्स्ट लेवल ऑफ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट इन द इकोसिस्टम, दैट इज नोन एज अ ग्रॉस प्राइमरी प्रोडक्टिविटी. ओके, एंड द नेक्स्ट इज नेट प्राइमरी प्रोडक्टिविटी. सो every like plants also respire, right? Plants also have some such kind of metabolic activities. So what they do, they respire. So respiration, it requires some kind of energy, right? So gross primary productivity में से हम अगर रेस्पायरेशन लॉस की जो एनर्जी होगी, जो रेस्पायरेशन लॉस में जो एनर्जी, जो रेस्पायरेशन करने में एनर्जी लॉस होगी, उसको माइनस कर देंगे. सो वी विल गेट द नेट प्राइमरी प्रोडक्टिविटी. दिस इज अवेलेबल फॉर द herbivores or for the secondary primary productivity. Okay, so what is the production in any ecosystem at the primary level? That's primary level is the plants. Okay, what is the available energy in at the primary level? That comes in the primary productivity. So similar, there is we get the difference between the gross primary productivity and the net primary productivity. Gross primary productivity is the firstly anything produced, and the net primary productivity, like we have, like something has been cooked, like suppose that any product in per unit time and per unit area the plants are producing. हम लोग कहते हैं ना इस एग्रीकल्चर लैंड की इतनी प्रोडक्टिविटी है. ओके, सो व्हाट इज दैट इज नेट प्राइमरी प्रोडक्टिविटी बिकॉज प्लांट्स ऑल्सो लूज सम अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी इन द रेस्पायरेशन. सो हम लोग जब ग्रॉस प्राइमरी प्रोडक्टिविटी में से रेस्पायरेशन वाली एनर्जी माइनस कर देते हैं या अदर मेटाबॉलिक एक्टिविटी विच रिक्वायर प्लांट्स टू सस्टेन देयर लाइफ, तो हमें नेट प्राइमरी प्रोडक्टिविटी मिलती है. दिस इज अवेलेबल फॉर द नेक्स्ट लेवल, फॉर द कंजम्पशन ऑफ next level. Okay, so we have heard about again we'll revise this concept, Lindemann 10% energy rule, but we are just giving the introduction here. Lindemann 10% energy rule. Okay, what this says? This says, like in any trophic level, we'll revise in trophic level in food chain also. So like this is trophic level, this is plants. Okay, so these are the plants and these are the herbivores. These are the primary consumers who fed on the plants. These are the secondary consumers. Okay, these are the secondary consumers and these are the tertiary consumers. So at each trophic level there is only 10% of energy transfer. Like here if we say there is 100 kilocalorie energy is formed, then only 10 kilocalorie, 100 का 10% is 10, so only 10 kilocalorie is transferred to this herbivorous level, and then at secondary consumer 10 ka 10% 1 kilocalorie. So there is energy loss that is explained by the Lindemann 10% energy rule. Okay, this has been asked various times. Okay, so we know about the productivity. There is the same thing is a tertiary productivity. Whatever the energy remained after that herbivorous level, that is available for the tertiary productivity. Okay, after the respiration loss or the other metabolic kind of activity. So the next is decomposition. So the next is decomposition. What is decomposition? Because ecosystem is a self-sustaining unit, so of course if there's something will be produced, the destruction of that thing, either it is plants or the animals or whatever, the destruction of that thing is very mandatory or the very necessary to sustain that thing. Okay, so the decomposition is conversion of, the simple definition is the conversion of complex organic molecule into the very simpler form of the inorganic molecule. Okay, so conversion of complex organic molecule to the material, matter, whatever you can say, matter, compound. Okay, like human body or the any organism or the anything made up of so many molecules of the matter. Okay, so better write is matter or the compound. Molecule is very small term. Matters to the simple inorganic element. Like minerals. Okay, CO2, water, etc. Got it? Okay, so suppose that this decomposes occurs through the various detritivores and they are like microorganisms, detritivores, microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, many invertebrates also. What are the invertebrates? Many invertebrates like earthworm. Earthworm is one of that. Okay, so they help in cleaning the ecosystem, cleaning and recycling. Decomposition is a very important process. Okay, recycling the minerals in the ecosystem. Okay, this is decomposition. So there is term known as saprophytic. They are the decomposers, of course. They are the decomposers. So they feed or break down or feed on dead organism. Okay, like carices, like dead bodies. Okay, carices means dead. And other detritivores or the other decomposers is work on the various other like dead leaves हो गया है ना आपके like एक कुर्सी या something कोई भी किसी भी ऐसे material except that dead organisms. Okay, so these are the decomposers. Next is energy flow. Energy flow. This is very important. Here we say the Lindemann 10% energy law. What is says? Only 10% of energy of trophic level transfer of one trophic level transfer to the next trophic level. Okay, what is the trophic level? We are repeating again and again this trophic level. Trophic level is the position of organism or the population or the species, okay, in the ecosystem based on their feeding habitats and their energy. So if we say this, okay, so these are producers, okay, these are herbivorous or the primary consumers, okay, or herbivorous. These are secondary consumers, and these are tertiary or the highest tertiary consumers. So as I have already repeated, so producers अगर suppose that 100 किलो कैलोरी एनर्जी फॉर्मेशन कर रहे हैं तो उसका 10% ही नेक्स्ट ट्रॉफिक लेवल. दीज आर द ईच ट्रॉफिक लेवल. ओके, दीज आर द ट्रॉफिक लेवल्स. So what I say trophic level, the position of any organism or the population or the species in that ecosystem. This is the ecosystem based on their feeding habitat or their energy system. So producers produce energy, converts energy into the available material to consume. Okay, so producer comes in the basic or the autotroph. Okay, so these are the producer. Here is the plants. Okay, here are the plants. Then that primary consumer that feed on the plant, then the secondary consumer that feed on the primary consumer, and the tertiary and the upper level of consumer that feed on the secondary consumer. So now we will talk about the plants, producers. So plants work as a producers. How? Through the photosynthesis. Through the photosynthesis process, right? Through the photosynthesis process, because they are autotrophs. So how they convert? Do you know only 1 to 3% of energy of the radiant energy plants absorb or the plant use in the photosynthesis? We just see shortly, like radiant, like sun. Okay, radiant or the solar energy.